Moscow, the capital of the world's largest and most sanctioned country. This huge city requires multiple days just to see some of the major tourist spots.
So the plan is I'm going to see as much of the city as I can, because tonight I have a flight to catch. It's already midday, so we're starting pretty late, but I think we can do it. We're masters of this.
So in less than 12 hours we have many things to see and experience. Is it even possible? Let's find out.
Of course, we're starting off in the very famous Red Square. Where else should I start? Every single time I come to this city and I look at Red Square, come here, visit, it's like new every single time. It doesn't even feel real. It feels like I'm in some weird dream, especially with the atmosphere we have today with the snow. This building right here is St. Basil's Cathedral. Many people, for some reason in the West, think that that's the Kremlin. But over there, that's the Kremlin, where the big guy himself does his work. I'm also going to show you another big guy, you could say. The Vorst. Come with me and I'll show you what that means. So right here is where the body of Lenin is held. For a few years, it also held the body of Stalin, but he was taken out during de-Stalinization in the Soviet period. I actually did get to go in there, but unfortunately you're not able to film inside or take photos. So unfortunately I can't really take you with me, but it's a really interesting experience. Also, if you see any of the different parades from the Soviet era where you have all the leaders stood up on the pedestal, that's where it is, above the body of Lenin. Along with Lenin over there, you also have the Kremlin mausoleum that goes across here for all the people that are buried in the walls of the Kremlin. It's really a fascinating thing. If you do ever get the chance to come to Moscow, definitely try and have a look at that. There's often a very huge queue that you have to go through when you're not able to take in bags and stuff like that, but it is definitely an experience you'll never forget. Behind me, you have the most prestigious shopping centre in all of Moscow, and all of Russia for that matter. The GUM, Государственный универсальный magazine. It's just across from the Kremlin over there. You've got all the most luxurious brands from all around the world, even despite current events. So let's go and have a look inside. It's absolutely stunning. It's nice to finally be out of the snow, but the security guard saw my tripod, basically stopped us, asked what it was for, and said you can't use it while you're in here. And we weren't going to anyway, but just so you know, you can't use tripods in here. This I think is fine. So there's these famous ice creams here, and we decided to get them, 150 rubles. Apparently they were cheaper before, but let's see how they are. I mean, it's good. I don't know if it's anything special, but it's good ice cream. Что думаешь?
Так, неплохо. Блин, как капает.
I don't know why me and my wife bothered even coming here, because it's all fancy brands here that we can't afford. Look there, Dolce & Gabbana, what, Lacoste. Says a lot about the sanctions, I guess, seeing as all these companies are still here right in the heart of Moscow. The Kremlin literally right across the road from here. Other than me and my wife being too poor to shop here, a main issue that I've seen is that we bought these ice creams. I've not come across a single bin the entire time I've been here. We've already spent about an hour of our allotted time, so we better get off Red Square and show you somewhere else. Let's go, let's get on our way. Back into the snow. How wonderful.
I'd just like to thank all of you who found my channel from my previous video and decided to subscribe. If you're interested to see the Russia hidden behind the headlines, then don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. Tell me in the comments if there's anything you think I should see and film when I next get the opportunity to visit Moscow. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Next thing we have to do now is look for some souvenirs. When you come on the metro, expect that if you have bags, you want to be checked. You just tap it on and you come through. One important thing to remember when you're on the escalators here on the metro is stay on the right hand side, because going down the left, it's a quick lane for people. London has the same, but I can't remember which side it's supposed to be. They've also always got some kind of performer on most of the stations. An important aspect of many of these stations is that you rub the statues. People do it for luck, I guess. I don't even fully understand myself. Especially the dogs here, like look at that. It's a good boy. Each station has its own uniquely beautiful aesthetic, but we don't have time to explore it this time. So let's go. Here they have one for Muzej Pobedy, the Museum of Victory. I'll personally recommend, if you ever get the chance to come to Moscow, you go to that museum. It's incredible. I might even make a video about it in the future if I ever have to come back. You'll be able to see in the distance there, but that's where we're heading. Let's get some souvenirs, see if there's any good offers for us. We'll find out. I don't know if you can see from here, but Burger King has not left Russia at all. Up there you can see Rostek's, that used to be KFC. They for a very long time held up in Russia, but Burger King is still holding out. This weather is very beautiful, but boy is it a pain to film in. Yeah, that's great. We were worried that this place was closed. I don't think there'll be much business there because they normally only do it on weekends, and today is a Tuesday, I think. But we came here before. It's where I bought that insane shapko-shanka that people complain about in my other videos. But this place looks pretty nice.
Здравствуйте. Подскажите по ценам.
Фуражка? А, это с 2000 рублей.
2000?
2000.
Еще походим, посмотрим.
Не, могу и дешевле, я оптовик. За 1000 отдаю, Надь.
1000?
1000, да. Ты что, цены низкие.
Вот это...
Вот это шапка-шанка?
Какая, шапка?
Черная или серая?
1000 рублей, это настоящая солдатская. Оригинал вообще. Хорошие цены, можете затариться. Мы оптовики, поймите. У меня все оптовые цены.
Ну, давайте так.
Потому я вам все и сказал.
Такой черный, да.
Давайте, черный, пожалуйста, вот. Держите, раз. Все, хватит, а то здесь пилотки еще, вот, со всеми значками. То же самое. Буденовку не хотите? Красивая. Взяли бы вот эту фуражку, вообще красивая, вон. Смотрите, какая фуражка. А форму если надо, вот. Низкую цену, 5000 комплектов.
Следующий раз, наверное.
Ага, 8950. А вы откуда сами? Из
Курска.
С Курска, да? А ну у вас акцент.
Ну, я из Англии.
А, именно. Все, пожалуйста, спасибо. А то если надо, сын. А, вот.
Сейчас еще подумаем,
Это вообще прям в люксе. Того времени, 84 год, с ремнем. Она стоит 3000 такая красивая. Давай, походите.
This is a place where you really have to haggle, and they don't want to let you go without buying something else. If you come making any kind of interesting thing that you might want, here's a lot of Gagarin, Yuri Gagarin, helmets. Basically anything that you might want that you think of when you come to Russia as a souvenir, you could get here. In the summer, it's more busy, you'd have more places open, but even here in the winter, and the prices aren't even that bad. You do have to try and get down a little bit. I wonder what we can buy from her. Привет. Seems today I am not the cat whisperer.
Средние. А вот это сколько?
Вот это стоит 2000, в ней 10 штучек. Она внутри, видите, только с цветочками. А вот это вот, она внутри с разными музыкальными инструментами. Здесь еще разного цвета. Личики очень красиво прописаны. Это будет стоить 4000.
Еще раз сколько стоит?
Вот эти 5 штук в каждой 400 рублей. Если возьмете 3 комплекта, 1000 рублей.
Да это может синяя. Нет.
Голубой, наверное.
И потом еще.
Спасибо, до свидания. One thing you need to keep in mind when you're here is try to bring cash, because a lot of them would prefer to do it with cash, for reasons I'm sure we can work out.
Вот это подороже немножко.
А сколько?
Это 2000 рублей.
А
Полный.
то еще можно что-то похожее?
1500 пойдет? Искусственный коричневый. Вот натуральный коричневый. 1500 пойдет? Кожа, енот. А ну, давай попробуем. О, сейчас зеркало, вот зеркало. У вас акцент, вы сами родом откуда? Курск вы живете?
Я из Англии, но мы живем
О,
в Курске.
hello, welcome. Давай натуральный цвет. По 1500 отдам, распродажи, по 3500 продавал. Кожа натуральная, енот, ракун. О, вот это лучше размер.
Можно 1,5, да?
Можно. Это целая шапка-ушанка, можно.
Наверное, это
Вот эту лучку, да. Давай побольше. Давай, удачи. Вот и побольше. Смотри, здесь регулируется, видишь? Тебе не хотите? Бери тебе за 1000 отдам. Вот, несу тебя, да.
Не надо.
1000 рублей, 10 фунт стерлингов.
Она вообще не нравится.
Да.
Всех благ, друг мой, не болейте. Вас наступающим праздником, девушка.
До свидания.
Себе тоже что-нибудь. А ну давайте кругленький, смотри.
Я не люблю так.
Тебе за 1000 отдам, в честь праздника.
Ну, спасибо, до свидания.
Давай, спасибо.
Настоящая, Solar. То же самое, 1000 рублей отдам. Это Ладога,
Так отстань!
древняя.
Отстань от моих клиентов! Отстань!
80-й год.
Давайте лучше сюда.
Ну, 800. Спасибо. 500 будет?
Ну 500 мы сами покупаем, серьезно.
550?
Давай, хорошо,
600. Хорошо, 600. That's the type of haggling you have to do here. So we bought all the souvenirs that we need. That's all completed. So let's get going. Let's see what else we can see in Moscow with the time we have left. So the next thing we're going to try and do is we're going to try and go on one of those public transport boats that I've seen on YouTube. But we have no idea where it is, how much it costs, or where it goes. Full on first impressions, we literally know nothing. I didn't even watch the full videos that I watch on YouTube anyway. I don't know if you can see it from the fog, but over there should be one of the Seven Sisters, and over there I think is another one. So if I had a better camera on me right now, you'd be able to see two of the Stalin Seven Sisters. So we're at Kiyevsky vokzal, so the Kiev station. We should find one of those boat things around here somewhere, I hope. We do get a cool view of the river from up here though. See that? We found it. Just got to get down there somehow. The Moskva River. What a beautiful sight. We're going to be on it in a moment, hopefully. I think if you look over there in the distance, that might be Moskva-Siti. We'll have a look at that a bit later, hopefully. I have no idea what the plan is anymore. It's already just gone past 3:30. Will we be able to make it and still be able to pack for my flight? I think it's for charging electric cars. Yeah, because most of the taxis here are electric. But look at that. What a view.
Что там, металл?
Let's hope we can make it.
Не надо бежать. Время много.
Оплата будет при посадке, отправление будет через 5 дней. Пока располагаетесь, ожидайте, на посадку пригласим. Спасибо.
We made it. Now we're going to have a look at the river, see what it looks like, see what these boats are like, see if the hype is real. I imagine the metro will be quicker though, but this is the most interesting. It's good for a bit of sightseeing, I think. So I think we've got plenty of time left until the challenge is over, but if we go through a few stops, have a look at the centre of the city from the river. People would pay good money for a river cruise, and it was 150 rubles, and that's not bad at all. It goes by most of the famous sites of the city. This one being quite a famous one if you know what I'm referring to. Over here is one of the Seven Sisters, and over there is Moskva-Siti, kind of like Russia's Canary Wharf. I don't know if you can see it though, it's kind of foggy today. So my wife just turned this on and she said she doesn't know how to turn it off, but I've just done it myself. And what? It's a man's job apparently. Here we are at our next location. I think that was a pretty interesting experience on one of those boats. I definitely recommend it if you do ever come to Moscow. Now I thought maybe it was overblown a bit on the videos, but no, I think it's pretty cool. Why not? Only 150 rubles per person. And here we are in Moskva-Siti, kind of Russia's equivalent to Canary Wharf if you've been to London. But unlike Canary Wharf, you can actually film here very easily. If you've ever tried to go there with a camera, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Personally, I don't particularly like being around big buildings. They make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Especially thing is with the fog, you can't even see the top of most of these. Also, it seems to be the windiest place in the city so far. I mean, it's kind of an interesting view. Not so much the historical side of Moscow that many of you are probably thinking of, but it's the centre of finance and stuff like that here. It's interesting nonetheless, and somewhere I've wanted to visit each time that I've come to Moscow, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. Now I have, and you came with me. Huge shopping centre here. But imagine everything there will be expensive. Look, they've got a spa there, IMAX in the cinema. This place definitely isn't somewhere where me and my wife feel at home. We're rather provincial people, you could say, and quite frankly, I don't personally like Moscow that much, and I think here might be the best place to tell you about that. I just personally don't prefer big metropolitan cities like this. Moscow is definitely one of those. It has all the aspects of a modern metropolitan city. It's busy, it's loud, and it's very expensive by Russian standards. Yeah, спасибо. And everyone here is trying to sell you something. Everyone here is rushing past, they don't even think about you. And that's what it's like in a big city like this. I just don't like it. As a tourist, it's completely fine. Like, you're coming to visit, you get to see all the sights, and then you get to go home. But if I had to live in this city, I don't think I'd be personally very happy. So I understand that many foreigners, when they come to Russia, move to Moscow. I understand people like it, but it's just not for me. As you can see, there's the more fancy one of the metro trains. It's the ones that we were using earlier, some of the older ones. But they do have nice ones. Just it's not every single train is nice like that. Now that we're on to talking about the metro system, I just want to air one of my grievances that I have with people who come to Moscow and make videos about Moscow. And that's that I do not like the metro. Personally, maybe it's just that I just don't like metro systems. I've been to in Changsha in China, in London Underground, Berlin U-Bahn, the one in Kiev and in Minsk, and in St. Petersburg. And yes, out of those, maybe the Moscow metro is the better of them, but I don't know, it's not all these fancy trains that you see right now, but maybe I'm just being too picky with my transport. Turns out I'm a terrible guide because it seems I have got the stations mixed up entirely. I thought Arbatskaya was supposed to have cool chandeliers and stuff. I swear it was Arbatskaya. It turns out that they're built completely separately but still called the same station. So we have to leave and then pay to take another ride. So we just came out and we have no idea where to find this. Why do they call two stations which are separated by a not insignificant walk exactly the same name? They're not the same station at all. It doesn't make any sense. Finally found it. Something you'll notice about the metro system here is on the escalators. There's not a single advertisement. Now in the London Underground, these places are completely filled with them, but it's nice, it's refreshing. And here we are at one of the most famous stations on the Moscow metro, Arbatskaya. Finally. Look how beautiful it is inside here. The chandeliers, nice work up here. And it's for a simple metro station. Of course there are less fancy ones. Trust me, there are plenty of less fancy ones here. But, I mean, look at the work that they did. You'll find that a lot of socialist or former socialist countries have very nice metro systems. It's something that when you visit these countries it's super interesting to see. For example, we're in Georgia. That one wasn't as fancy, but the Kiev metro, the one in Minsk, is pretty nice. It's these type of metro stations that I do actually like. Even if I don't like the system itself, these are good. It's nice to have something pretty to look at when you've got to go on your daily commute, I guess. Almost.
Whilst Moscow isn't my favourite city in Russia, I still really enjoyed my time there, and visiting the famous tourist spots is always an unforgettable experience. If you're in Russia, then I'd recommend spending time in Moscow, but then give yourself the chance to venture out into the provinces and see the real Russia. If you're not fortunate enough to visit Russia, but still want to experience it from home, then you can watch this video from the city of Oryol, a place most foreigners have never heard of. Other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, до свидания.